Want to build a highly profitable, modern software business without totally burning through your savings or honestly wasting months of your life? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, I'm handing you a high-energy, step-by-step playbook to build a SaaS minimum viable product in exactly 4 weeks. This is the exact blueprint founders are using right now to get rapid validation, and we are going to jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this. Why do so many founders crash and burn before they even write a single line of code? It's crazy. The truth is, they're getting it completely backward. They fall in love with the solution instead of the problem. They dream up these massive, complex feature sets, and they totally skip the part where they validate if anyone actually wants what they're building. But here's the thing. In 2026, the math on validation has fundamentally changed. The contrast here is just staggering. The old builder mentality was exhausting, right? You'd spend 6 months coding, drop over $100,000, and just pile up massive technical debt just to test a theory. But the 2026 way, it's all about capital efficiency. By leveraging an AI and no-code stack, you're compressing development costs by up to 63%. You can literally achieve in 4 weeks what used to take half a year. So let's get into our first pillar, the new 4-week rule, and how you actually survive the 2026 SaaS market. Because speed and capital efficiency, they're completely non-negotiable now. Look at this number, 26%. That's the median growth rate where the B2B SaaS market has currently settled. We are definitely not in the era of hypergrowth anymore, where you could just burn cash endlessly and hope for the best. Today, sustainable growth with fantastic unit economics is valued way, way higher. To thrive, you've got to be lean from day one. And to stay that lean, you really need to adopt this exact mindset. Default to no code until you hit a hard wall. This golden rule cuts your build costs, dramatically shortens your validation time, and it forces a kind of discipline. It lets you test a real market before making the fatal mistake of falling in love with your own custom architecture. Moving on to our next phase, validate before you build, finding the pain first. So the crucial point here is a bit of a warning. Absolutely do not build a single feature before proving a painful, frequent problem actually exists. And the magic number to prove that is 20. You need to conduct at least 20 customer discovery interviews before touching a single line of code. Ask potential buyers about their daily workflows and what they're actively paying to solve right now. And look, friendly feedback from your mom doesn't count. You need real, hard feedback from strangers. Now, during those 20 interviews, you're going to follow this exact sequence to pinpoint your micro SaaS niche. First, define your exact ideal customer profile. Don't just say something vague like businesses. Say landlords with under 50 units. Be specific. Second, map out their weekly workflow to spot where the friction is. And third, find the expensive bottleneck. Look for things like delayed payments or huge compliance exposure. That bottleneck, that is exactly where your money is. Actually, I want to challenge you with a little homework right now. Name the first 10 people you would email tomorrow to sell your product to. If you can't find 10 specific people on LinkedIn in 30 minutes, you don't have a product. You just have a concept. You have to know exactly who is going to pull out their credit card and buy this. That brings us to setting value-based pricing first. Literally price it before you launch. This might sound a bit contrarian, but it's essential. Your pricing actually dictates what goes into your MVP. If you're building B2B SaaS, $49 a month is your absolute minimum starting price. So many founders chronically underprice at like $9 a month. Don't do it. Charging less just signals low value to professional buyers. You should be pricing at roughly 10x the value you're actually creating for them. And how you charge is fundamentally changing too. The old model of rigid, flat-rate monthly subscriptions is hitting massive subscription fatigue. The 2026 model relies heavily on flexible, usage-based metrics. Or, even better, embedded finance. Embedding payments or payroll directly into your software creates this highly sticky, compounding revenue that grows right alongside your customer's success. All right, let's talk tech. The AI no-code stack, or what I like to call your 2026 developer toolkit. And this brilliantly illustrates how a modern solo founder can essentially operate with the output of an entire engineering team. Once you have your problem and your price, it's time to build. By using low-code platforms like Covian AI for your backend, you're getting enterprise-grade performance while slashing your costs by 63%. Then you combine that with vibe coding for rapid prototyping and point it all at a hyper-focused micro SaaS niche. Doing this makes you virtually immune to massive horizontal competition. I really want to pause on that vibe coding concept for a second because it is single-handedly fueling a massive solopreneur boom. This is where you literally just describe your product's requirements in plain, natural English, and AI agents instantly generate and refactor the code for you. It completely eliminates the dreaded blank page problem. You don't have to be a software engineer to build software anymore. You just need to be a really great problem solver. Okay, let's get into the build phase itself, building the uncomfortable version. This is all about minimum scoping for maximum speed. Because remember, an MVP is all about proving value. It's not about launching a polished masterpiece right out of the gate. I absolutely love this quote. Build the smallest uncomfortable version first. Ship the version that tests the real behavior you need from users. For example, if your core value relies on users uploading sensitive documents, do not waste months building a beautiful dashboard. Just build the upload feature and see if they actually trust you enough to use it. Speed with structure will always beat polish with delay in the 2026 market. To keep yourself honest here, you've got to follow some incredibly strict scoping rules to keep the MVP lean. You target just one customer profile and one single workflow, period. No admin panels until you have 10 paying customers. It is perfectly fine to have manual backend processes initially. You can automate those only after you've validated the idea. And above all else, you must ship in 6 weeks maximum. Honestly, any longer than that and you're just overbuilding. Which leads us to our final and honestly most critical phase, go-to-market and distribution, and actually reaching your 10 users. Because let's be real, even the absolute best 4-week build is going to completely fail if nobody knows it exists. Distribution beats product polish every single time. A founder who has direct, trust-based access to a niche audience will consistently outcompete a superior software builder who has zero audience. You absolutely must figure out your channels. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how specific your marketing needs to be to your actual product. Building B2B SaaS, you need to master cold email and LinkedIn. Making developer tools, you should be living on Product Hunt, Hacker News, and GitHub. Consumer SaaS, you better be leveraging YouTube and TikTok. But the golden rule here is to choose just one primary channel and completely master it. Don't spread yourself thin trying to be everywhere at once. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative question. What specific, expensive pain point are you going to solve tomorrow? You now have the playbook. Validate first, price for value, build an uncomfortable MVP using AI, and own your distribution. The gap between a validated idea and a dead dream is literally just one conversation with a paying customer. So go out there, find that pain, build something that matters, and we'll see you in the next explainer.